ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुत्पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं साजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्विषे नमः। Today we will start chapter number 15. We finished chapter number 14 last week, and we discussed about the three modes of material nature: the mode of goodness, mode of ignorance, mode of passion. And Bhagwan also discussed, Arjuna had asked in Shloka number 21, I'm just revising it again, that what are the qualities of a person who is beyond these three modes? And Bhagwan described some qualities, and he said that, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment, delusion, and when they are present, or does not long for them when they disappear, who is unwavering, undisturbed through all the reactions of these material qualities, who remains neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active, who is situated in the self and regards alike happiness and distress, who looks upon the lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with an equal eye, who is equal towards the desirable and the undesirable, who is steady, situated equally well in praise and honor, praise, blame, and honor and dishonor, who treats alike both friend and enemy, who has renounced all material activities. Such a person is said to have transcended the modes of nature. This Bhagwan, what he has spoken in chapter 12 from Shloka number 13 to 20, he has spoken in all chapters. Again, he is summarizing all these points. These are the qualities that we should aim to develop in ourselves. You want to grow spiritually, Bhagwan has mentioned, these are the qualities to grow spiritual. If you have this, then you have everything. So question yourself, where do I stand? What is most important? What am I looking for? What is the knowledge? Bhagwan, we go after knowledge. We want this and that. We want to know so much. People say, oh, I have a passion to gain knowledge. But what is that knowledge? Finally, what knowledge do you want to gain? What is the ultimate knowledge? Bhagwan described that in chapter 13. What is ultimate knowledge? He said, if you have all these qualities, this is ultimate knowledge. Beyond this, everything is not knowledge. So if somebody wants to get knowledge, Bhagwan has given clear-cut answers. You want to become very spiritual, you want to go to the highest point in spirituality, what you have to be. This is the point. This is what you have to reach. This is your goal. Nothing else. People look for siddhis. They're like, oh, I want to become a siddha. And with siddhi, their idea of siddhi is, okay, I will get some miraculous powers. I'll get anima, lagima, prapti, garima, and all those powers. There are 8 kinds of siddhis mentioned. Anima means you become very small, and then there is one power that you can get things from air, and there is power that you can teleport yourself anywhere else, all these powers. So when people talk about siddhis, their imagination is, oh, being spiritual means getting all these siddhis. Bhagwan is not talking about any siddhi here. All the siddhis he does not even touch. Bhagwan is talking about this qualities, if you can develop in yourself, this is siddhis. Now you question yourself. Do I have them? Because all those miracles that you are aiming for, going after, those miracles, even magicians do it. Do you want to become a magician? What is it that you want to become? And I'm telling you, those powers will come, even without you trying. If you aim to be this, those powers come even without you trying. But if you aim only for the powers, this you will not be, you will be lost. This means the qualities which Bhagwan is saying. So your goal, you want to become spiritual, you want to be with God. All these qualities you develop from Shloka number 22, 25. That's it. Everything else will follow. Got it? Text 26. Bhagwan says, Mam chayo avibicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatite tetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Now, Arjuna had asked this question to him, that what is the means of attaining this transcendental position? But Arjuna had asked this question. Bhagwan said, the answer is one who engages in full devotional service. Mam, unto me, Mam chaya avyabhicharena, without a vyabhichar, without fail. Bhakti yogena sevate, the one who serves me through bhakti yoga will, the word very clearly Bhagwan has given. There is no confusion, no sankhya, no nothing. He says bhakti yogena. Clear cut answer. How one can reach to that position of siddha? Through bhakti yoga. What kind of bhakti? Avyabhichari. You remember this? That means ananya bhakti. Avyabhichari means your unalloyed devotion. Your mind is not going here and there. Because now your lakshya, the goal is clear. What happens when you're on the path of spirituality? People waver. They don't know where do they want to go. Their goalpost keeps changing. But here Bhagwan already started from chapter 2. Become sthirmati, be focused. What do you want? Be focused. Why are you here? Be focused. I always ask you to question yourself. Why are you here? What is it that you want? So slowly when the answer comes from the heart, no, I want to be experiencing the highest spiritual goal. I want to experience God. How will you experience God? By listening to God's word, by following his words, by walking on that path as led by God. If that goal is very clear, then obviously, then slowly your bhakti will become, very focused. You will not waver. You will not go here and there. I have told many times, I gave this example. Like when you want to marry, when your goal is to marry, then you date a lot of people. You go, you see that who is the one with whom I want to marry. That is okay. Till then you are okay. But once you made up your mind, okay, now this is the person with whom I feel very comfortable. With this person I want to be living my life. Then you become devoted. Then you will serve that person. Then you won't allow your mind to go here and there. So this kind of coming to that conclusion Okay, that okay, this is the person, this is what I want to achieve. Then your bhakti or your love will become avyabhichari. Then you're not going here and there. But till that time, you're okay. Same way, after getting Gita and you've understood the knowledge, you question it. You try to cut all Bhagwan statements. Try to do this. Spend as much time as you want with Bhagwan. But once the heart says, no, everything what he has spoken is right. There is nothing that I can reject. I'm telling you, many scriptures I have read, but so many things I have rejected because I could not accept. But here in Gita, open any shloka, any shloka. No matter how much I want to criticize or how much I want to be, at my argumentative best, I lose every time. Every answer is perfect. Every answer is perfect. So when you come to that point of perfect answers, perfection, why do you want to leave him and go anywhere else? You just want to accept him. Your heart says accept him. Still, there is a lot of debate in the heart to accept. It's just like the same way like marriage, Really? Should I be marrying? Will I be really happy with this person? It's like giving my life to this person. Will really it be good? It's like that with Krishna. It takes time for some people to surrender. Because here there is no drama. And he appears just like us. He does not appear very extraordinary. Just an ordinary person, he appears like that. Even though he has given all his extraordinariness, he has shown everything, yet that thing doesn't get stuck in our head. In our head, it only stuck. The image that is stuck is, oh, he's so loving, his curly hair, he's always dancing and prancing with his young girls of Vrindavan, or he's just a Laddu Gopal. So he appears so ordinary. And his Gita is in every home. So it is ordinary. Other books are not there in every home. So those scriptures are something very special. Because nobody can understand those scriptures. Here we think we are able to understand, but yet we don't understand. It's so beautiful. Every time I tell you, I'll read it. I'm like, wow, Bhagwan. And I teach. And I'm like, wow, Bhagwan. Now I know what your Maya is. I really know Maya Aprit Gyan. I really understand that word when you say Maya Aprit Gyan. There are so many Gyanis who are reading Bhagavad Gita, listening Bhagavad Gita, but Maya just covers their brain and they cannot get the essence of Bhagwan's word. Bhagwan is spoken so simply, yet Maya Devi, our great Maya just stands there. Doesn't allow. So somebody has to really sincerely pray, Bhagwan, please, I want to be yours. I want to be yours. I don't want anything else. I don't want anything else. I'm telling you, when your heart starts repeating this, I'm done with every other distraction, even to the distraction of the Siddhis mentioned in the Puranas, in the literatures, I'm done with that. When you start crying like this, God, you alone. God, you alone. I don't want anything else. You alone. I'm not looking for this. I'm not looking for people calling me Gyani. I'm not looking for even knowledge. God, only you alone. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. Na kavitam jagdishakam. I do not crave for anything else. I only want you, only you, only you, only you, only you. That when this mantra becomes your mantra, God, you alone. Then Maya Devi, takes away the curtain. So this is the important thing. Surrender. As long as your mind is going here and there, even though you are getting the Gita knowledge, Maya Devi is standing, giving you all kind of pralobhan, as we say, all kind of things she will throw at you, because she knows what all you have in your heart. So now here you are learning Gita. Bhagwan is telling you again and again, Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevita. The one who serves me with unflinching devotion. You hear these words. But unflinching devotion, as I told you, the state of mind is, God, you alone. I don't want anything else. You alone, you alone, you alone. This is unflinching devotion. Nobody else. You alone. So when you start saying that, all those little bit hidden desires, Maya Devi will stand and she start fulfilling that. She'll take you away. But even during that time, maybe your desires are getting fulfilled. You will be reminded, okay, you were desiring this. You are still desiring for them. And when in the silence of your meditation, you look at everything that is being fulfilled, and you cry and you say, God, I know you gave me everything. But these were desires of past. You alone. I'm done, God. I just want you. Slowly, really, when your heart is that clear, then this knowledge of Gita, I'm telling you, it will be a different knowledge altogether. You will hear God speaking. People say, I want to meet God. Where do you want to meet God? Where is He? Right in your heart. Right in your heart. Learn to go dive deep into your heart. In the silence of your meditation, learn to be with Him. Vyabhicharena. Without diverting your mind here and there. Vyabhichar means when your mind is going here and there. Not only between gods. People, their minds are struggling between gods. But when your mind goes on with the worldly things, worldly connections you have, worldly relations you have, mind is going here and there. Yes, you have to deal with all of them. But in the silence of meditation, God, I love you. I want you alone. I seek nothing else. 100% surrender. And God knows the clarity of your heart, the simplicity of your heart. God knows. You can't fool Him. Become as simple as possible. Maya Devi will give you a lot of things. Subtlest things. You will not be able to imagine that this has come to you and taken you away from God. Subtle. But when you realize and you reject even that, Bhagwan, you alone. You alone. Then Gita, literally, the knowledge comes to you and you will. People say, people get very, very deeply connected when I'm speaking the Gita, but I'm telling you, I'm nothing. Yeah. The connection with Krishna, I have realized. And when I give Gita lectures and I know if something you are able to catch up during that time, you feel that love for Krishna. It is Krishna has given you that taste. That taste you must hold on to and work hard on yourself. All those things which has to be rejected, you must know, reject. These are not good for me. All those things that are to be accepted, which will take you towards Krishna, you must accept, walk on that path. Finally, it's like marrying Him. Vyabhicharan means you have made the decision. It's Him. It's His knowledge that I wanted. It's this siddhi that I want. I don't want to become a magician. I want to become gods. That's all. Let people know me as the biggest devotee if they want to. It doesn't matter. God, I want to become yours. Become like that. This is avyabhicharena bhakti. Unfailingly, you are only serving Him. Bhagwan says that person at once transcends the material modes of nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. And Bhagwan ended up saying that Brahman that you are aiming, that impersonal Brahman, which is immortal. Vedas are talking about all this. That Brahman is imperishable, eternal. And it is the constitutional position of all ultimate happiness. That Brahman, O Arjuna, I am the foundation, I am the basis. It has come from me. So my devotees don't have to worry about all this Brahman and Paramatma and all these things. My devotees will come to me. Those who are serving me unfailingly. Always question yourself, why are you here? What is it that you want? Bhagwan, you want Bhagwan. If you say your answer is I want Brahman, I want to experience that mukta avastha, Brahman I have heard. Bhagwan has given a clear answer that Brahman, I am the foundation. So now he is opening your eyes. Look higher. Look beyond the Brahman conception. Look at me. Let's go to chapter 15. The Yoga of Supreme Person. śrībhagavānuvācha ūrdhvamūlamadhaḥśākhamaśvatthaṃ prāhuravyayam Chandāṃsi yasya parṇāni yastaṃ vēda sa vēdavit. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its root upwards and its branches down, and whose leaves are Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. Here, this first shloka and the second shloka, Bhagwan is comparing this material world to a reflection of a tree whose roots are upward. So this material world is an upside down tree, and the roots of this material world, the tree of life, it's a concept, we say. So this tree of life has its roots upward. So when we say, where is the roots? Upward. Where in upward? So that upward which you cannot see, people say that is Brahman. Light, sound, something a super conscious energy, the cosmos. Because when we look up, we're only able to see the sky. So we think, oh, beyond the sky, there is something which is just like the sky. So this life, what you're living in, it has the roots upward. And that is Brahman, imperishable. But in this slok and the next slok, Bhagwan says, I will explain you in the beginning itself. So this is the tree of life. There the roots are upward. The roots go to spiritual world. So our roots are in the spiritual world. This world here is just a reflection of the spiritual world. Whatever experiences you go here, when you are born. The day you are born, you get parents, you get siblings. You experience some kind of love, attachment. In this relation, parental affection, bonding with the sisters and brothers, you are experiencing some love. You experience love from neighbors. You experience love from strangers. As you grow, you experience love from friends. You experience love from your spouse. Then again, your family starts. You experience love from your own children. You become father, mother. The roles are reversed. Throughout your life, you go through so many relationships. In all relationships, you are experiencing love. One common thing. From the day you were born, you are the product of your mother, father's love. So, you're born out of love. You propagate that love through your own family. So, love is the foundation of everything. In different forms, in different rasas, different mellows. But all this love, whatever you experience, sometimes you experience sadness through this love, anger through this love, through these relationships. So all the love that you experience has a negative side to it too. Same parents who took care of you, you grow up and you have difference of opinion. You don't like their presence anymore. Same children whom you love, you give everything, the children won't like you anymore. Normal. The same siblings with whom you grew up, as kids you were best siblings, as you grow up, difference of opinion. They are different personality, you are different personality. So that love that you were experiencing now turns into it has different shades now. So you are experiencing dualities at every moment here through different relationships. And there is so much variety in this world. So much variety. So this whole game of life, tree of life, with so much varietedness, is just a reflection of the spiritual world. Means if something is happening here, if it is a reflection, then something real is there. If I consider myself as a real person, I look at myself in the mirror, that is a reflection of me. If I wear a red dress, I will look red. If there are tens of mirrors, and every mirror has a different tint. Some has a bluish tint, some has yellowish, some is reddish, blackish. And I stand as the original person. Then I am seeing so many tints of myself. This is me. If my image is put through a kaleidoscope, I will see so many more images of myself in the kaleidoscope in different colors. Kaleidoscope will have so many things. So me, myself, the original me is represented in a kaleidoscope in so many different variations. But that kaleidoscope is unreal. The real is me. Similarly, this world is like the image of the kaleidoscope. So many images here. So many colors. So many enjoyments. But all of this is like the image in the kaleidoscope is unreal. Where is the real? From where have I come? All the relationships I enjoyed here, it's the image of the kaleidoscope. Unreal. Me, myself, the existence. Maybe whatever years, number of years. This existence is unreal because this is just a body. So who is the real and where is the real? Where are the real relationships? Where is the real love? Where is that real experience? Where is the real? If this earth is a kaleidoscope of experiences, where is that real? Who is that real? I got into this body. I, the soul, is the real. Where did I come from? Where is my root? My root is up, spiritual world. This is what Bhagwan is talking. All these relationships that I experienced here, I was experiencing love. But love mixed with so many other things. Love mixed with lust. And that is why whenever those lusts were not fulfilled, anger and everything else started coming. But where is that pure love? I am born out of pure love. This body was born out of love, parents. But me, my soul, which is me, is born out of love. Where is that pure love? Where is that pure love? I am born out of Bhagwan. And that pure love is Bhagwan. Where are my pure loving relationships? It's in my spiritual world. Where is the spiritual world? Its roots are above, beyond the Brahman. Bhagwan in this 2 shlokas is talking about that spiritual world, Bhagwan's world. Bhagwan throughout Gita has encouraged us to remember him. When we leave the body, we have to remember him. My guru told me the first, I can never forget, I've repeated this mantra so many times. Whenever I'm tested in life, extremely, this thing only gets into my head. Life is a preparation, death is an examination. Life is a preparation, death is an examination. How do you want to die? What is it that you're running for? What is it that you want? Which relations do you want to satisfy? How many relations will you satisfy? What is it that you want? If you have to die in the next 1 hour, what is it that you want? Well, I want to spread love, die lovingly, and go to my eternal love. From where I come. Love is my form. I am that soul. I am Bhagwan's soul. He is the super soul. I am Bhagwan's part and parcel. That realization, when it comes, then life is so beautiful. Who am I? Bhagwan has encouraged me. You can go anytime. So, never forget me. In Gita, Bhagwan has given that those who think of me at the time of death, they come to my form, my place, my abode. And how is his abode? That he will talk here in this chapter. So here Bhagwan started saying, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree. This is the Vedic analogy he has given. That has its roots upward and its branches down, and those whose leaves are Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. Those who know the Vedas. So Bhagwan says, this is the tree of life. We are all stuck in this tree of life. If we want to go out from this tree of life, we should know the way. How do we know the way? Then the way is to know the Vedas. So this tree of life has leaves which are like the Vedic hymns. So every Vedic hymn is pushing you to your real self. So we are stuck in this tree of life. And the tree of life is like the banyan tree. The banyan tree, if you have seen, the banyan tree has one root, which is its original root. And then the banyan tree goes on spreading. It has many roots. The banyan trees, like, if they spread their roots, they can cover the entire city. That's how big they can be. So our life is just like the banyan tree. Our original root is in the spiritual world. We came down here. As soul, we are traveling from the spiritual world to the material world. So this is our whole trunk. Our root is up, but this is our trunk. And then we have so many desires. From one desire, we create one root, from another root. So many branches are created. Our own mind is creating so many branches. On each and every branches, there is our objects of desires. We are looking. This desire, that desire, this desire, and we go on creating roots. Our mind gets deeply rooted into the material world, and then we are stuck completely, not knowing who we are, from where we come. Our original root we have forgotten. So many roots now. We have branched out ourselves fully. Our mind is branched out, deeply rooted in material desires, and we forget our original self. So how do we remember that? So we look at the leaves of this life, tree of life, and the leaves are Vedic hymns, the scriptures. What are these Vedic hymns? What is Veda? Veda means knowledge. Knowledge does not mean just reading 4 books of Vedas. I have spoken about Vedas. Ved come from Vedana. Vedana means sentiments, emotions. Throughout this life, you experience different things. So some emotions are very good. Some emotions are very bad. Every emotion, every experience will give you some knowledge. And that knowledge makes you whatever you are. So Vedic knowledge, when we say Veda, Veda means something that you experienced, and that experience led you to some knowledge. And the more refined your knowledge becomes, the more you come to know about your existence, who you are. And then once you know who you are connected to your real self, to your real roots. So Vedas are containing all this knowledge which is experienced through all the various emotions that you go through. You go beyond all of that. So that is Vedas. So this tree of life, we are stuck into our own roots. We have branched out so much. We are stuck into how do we go back to our real roots? Through the Vedas, through the knowledge. I'll read the purport. After the discussion of the importance of Bhakti Yoga, one may question, what about the Vedas? It is explained in this chapter that the purpose of Vedic study is to understand Krishna. Therefore, one who is in Krishna consciousness, who is engaged in devotional service, already knows the Vedas. The entanglement of this material world is compared here to a banyan tree. For one who is engaged in fruitive activities, there is no end to the banyan tree. He wanders from one branch to another. The tree of this material world has no end. For one who is attached to the tree, there is no possibility of liberation. The Vedic hymns meant for elevating oneself are called the leaves of this tree. This tree's root grow upward because they begin from where Brahma is located, the topmost planet of this universe. If one can understand this indestructible tree of illusion, then one can get out of it. This process of extrication should be understood. In the previous chapter, it has been explained that there are many processes by which to get out of the material entanglement. And up to the 13th chapter, we have seen that devotional service to the Supreme Lord is the best way. Now, the basic principle of devotional service is detachment from material activities and attachment to the transcendental service of the Lord. The process of breaking attachment to the material world is discussed in the beginning of this chapter. The root of this material existence grows upward. This means that it begins from the total material substance, from the topmost planet of the universe. From there, the whole universe is expanded with so many branches representing the various planetary systems. The fruits represent the results of living entities, activities, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Now, there is no ready experience in the world, in this world, of a tree situated with its branches down and its root upwards. But there is such a thing, that this kind of tree can be found beside a reservoir of water. We can see that the trees on the bank reflect upon the water with their branches down and roots up. In other words, the tree of this material world is only a reflection of the real tree of the spiritual world. This reflection of the spiritual world is situated on desire, just as a tree's reflection is situated on water. Desire is the cause of all things. Being situated in this reflected material light, one who wants to get out of this material existence must know this tree thoroughly through analytical study. Then he can cut off his relationship with it. This tree, being the reflection of the real tree, is an exact replica. Everything is there in the spiritual world. The impersonalists take Brahman to be root of this material tree. And from the root, according to Sankhya philosophy, come Prakriti, Purusha, and the three gunas. And then the five gross elements, Panch Mahabhut, then the 10 senses, the Shindriya, mind, etc. In this way, they divide up the whole material world into 24 elements. If Brahman is the center of all manifestations, then this material world is a manifestation of the center by 180 degrees. And the other 180 degrees constitute the spiritual world. The material world is a perverted reflection, so the spiritual world must have the same variegatedness, but in reality, the Prakriti is the external energy of Supreme Lord, and the Purusha is the Supreme Lord himself, and that is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Since this manifestation is material, it is temporary. A reflection is temporary, for it is sometimes seen and sometimes not seen. But the origin from whence the reflection is reflected is eternal. The material reflection of the real tree has to be cut off. When it is said the person knows Vedas, it is assumed that he knows how to cut off attachment to this material world. If one knows that process, he actually knows the Vedas. One who is attracted by the ritualistic formulas of the Vedas is attracted by the beautiful green leaves of the tree. He does not exactly know the purpose of the Vedas. The purpose of the Vedas, as disclosed by the personality of Godhead himself, is to cut down this reflected tree and attain the real tree of the spiritual world. So you got it? So we are living in a world which is temporary, which is unreal. It is just like the reflection. Our real world is Bhagwan's world. All those experiences we have here, feeling of paternal love, maternal love, sibling love, friendship, all the different kind of emotions mellows that we enjoy here, all this is a reflection. We will enjoy the same things when you go into the spiritual world. As many varieties are here, that many varieties are in the spiritual world. You see trees here, gardens here, mountains here. Same way there are mountains, gardens, everything in the spiritual world. We are reading Tripurarasya. In that I described the planet of Mars, Manidvipa. See? In that Manidvipa, when you walk, it's just like the same, like how it is here. There are oceans, there are islands, but the islands are here, everything is made up of earth, but there it is all made up of gems. That's the only difference. Here there is limited colors, there everything is unlimited. Here there is duality, rich and poor, there everybody is opulent. Everybody's. Here you have to slog hard to make one thing, there you have to just think, and there are trees, kalpavrikshas, and there are chintamanis. You just think and that will be created for you. That's how those worlds are, and that is our real world. Whatever we are experiencing here full of dualities, we were just sent here to enjoy this ride. But we got so stuck in this ride. Okay, this is mine. It's like, when we are sitting in a train and we go on a journey, that one seat, if it is allocated to us, we think this is our seat. Nobody else can sit. Sometimes it happens. People get so attached to the train ride, the seat in the train ride. And I'm like, come on. Before you also, somebody came and sat down. After you leave, somebody else will come and sit. Why are you getting so attached? And they fight for their seat. This is how we have become. We were sent to this world, given this body. And God said, go and enjoy an earthly planet. It's just a planetary visit. We have come to see a planet. But we think everything in this planet is mine. Me, mine. And we keep crying. When you go for a train ride at some destination, when you leave the train, do you cry? No, you don't. You enjoy the tourist spot, you come back home, you think of the good time spent. That's about it. That's how this earthly visit is. We come here. I keep crying, you're my, me, mine. No. Experience all. But never forget your real self. This is just in reflection. Your real self is Bhagwan's place. Beautiful. There is no dualities there. You were sent here. Enjoy. No complaints. Just enjoy. Various colors of life. Just enjoy. Real spiritual person comes to this conclusion. He sees everything, does not get affected by anything internally. Internally, he knows how to correct himself, how to rectify, how to bring themselves to balance through the teachings of Gita. So our world is, today you must know, this is not your world. Bhagwan's world is your world. You belong to Bhagwan. So the way we describe about Manidvip, same way the description of Goloka Vrindavan. So many, when they say the rivers, the ponds of Goloka Vrindavan, everything is wish fulfilling. But to go there, first of all, you have to become Nishkam. So here on earth, you have no desires anymore left. The only desire is to see Bhagwan. So when you enter Goloka Vrindavan, every little thing will take you to Bhagwan. Here on earth, you only desire to serve him. So you go there, serve him 24 hours. There is no stoppage of time also. Time also does not, it's beyond time. It's beyond space, beyond Maya. Maya does not touch in Goloka Vrindavan, Manidvip. Manidvip, it's Maya only, Yoga Maya only. So you go there. That is your real world. Okay? And this world is just like the reflection. Other Bhagwan, second shloka. Ūrdhvamūlamadhaḥśākhamaśvatthaṃ शाखा गुणा प्रविद्धा विषय प्रवाला अधश्च मूलानि अनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके. The branches of this tree extend downward and nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of the senses. This tree has roots also going down, and these are bound to be to the fruitive actions of human society. So this tree is actually extending downwards to the lower planetary system. Tal, Vital, Sutal, Atal, and all those things, you go till Patal. Okay? And then you are in Earth, and then there are more 7 planetary systems, Bhurvua, Swaha, Mahajana, Tapaha, Satya, till Brahmalok. This is the material tree. So we keep going. Our branches are existing from the lower planetary system to the upper planetary system. We keep going in this. We have spread our roots everywhere, meaning we desire to go to the heavenly planets. So we are doing all the punyas to go to the heavenly planets. So we went there. We didn't live properly. We lived like an animal, worse than an animal. We go back to the lower planetary systems. We keep planning. We keep doing everything. But somebody was read the Gita now. Okay, now the tube light is on. Okay, something was wrong. Something is off. What is it? Why am I traveling so much? Why am I suffering so much? What is the purpose? What are these higher planets? What are the lower planets? How many times I might have taken birth? Do I really want to go this journey again? So you question. Now the tube light is on. Then, now you are enlightened, really. And then you work hard. That no more of this. Now I go back to my real roots. So here the purport, the description of the banyan tree is further explained. Its branches is spread in all directions, all the planetary systems. In the lower part, there are variegated manifestations of living entities, human beings, animals, horses, cows, dogs, cats, etc. These are situated on the lower part of the branches, whereas on the upper parts of higher forms of living entities are the demigods, Gandharvas, many other higher species of life. So higher planetary system, demigods, Gandharvas and all are there in the higher, yakshas and all those, they're in the higher. We are humans, then there are lower. Okay. So this is the size of the tree. As a tree is nourished by water, so this tree is nourished by 3 modes of material nature. So you are in this tree. If you are nourishing your tree of life with sattvic gunas, mode of goodness, obviously you will be going to higher planetary system. So now you branched out to a higher planetary system. If you are nourishing your tree of life with rajoguna, okay, you are spreading your roots on earth only. You will come back to earth. Branch out here. What are the branches? Oh, you look at all the objects of senses. You're branching out. I want that. I want this. You are feeding your tree of life. Tree of life means your consciousness, your everything. You're feeding it with tamoguna, passion. You want to be very animalistic. Okay, get into animal life. You branch out in animal life. So your roots are spreading everywhere. How are we nourishing it? 3 modes of material nature. This is our nourishment. Sometimes we find that a tract is very green. Sometimes we find that the tract of land is barren for want of sufficient water. Similarly, where 3 particular modes of material nature are proportionately greater in quantity, the different species of life are manifested accordingly. The twigs of the tree are considered to be the sense objects. By development of the different modes of nature, we develop different senses. And by the senses, we enjoy different varieties of sense objects. The tips of the branches are the senses, the ears, the nose, the eyes, which are attached to the enjoyment of different sense objects. The twigs are sound, form, touch, and so on, the sense objects. The subsidiary roots are attachment and aversions, which are byproducts of the different varieties of suffering and sense enjoyment. The tendencies towards piety and impiety are considered to develop from these secondary roots, which are spread in all directions. The real root is from Brahmaloka, and the other roots are in the human planetary system. After one enjoys the results of virtuous activities in the upper planetary system, he comes down to this earth and renews his karma or fruitive activities for promotion. This planet of human beings is considered the field of activities. Got it? So this is, Bhagwan has explained this world. Now, we have understood, okay, so we are living in a reflected world. Our true world is the spiritual world. How do we go there? The question is that, I got it, Bhagwan. I have branched out so much and I am deep rooted in so many sensory things. I understood. Every day there are new twigs are coming out because the new twigs are attracted towards some sense objects. I know, Bhagwan. How do I do now? How do I cut this so many roots? Now Bhagwan is going to give the answer. Text number 3 and 4. Narupam asyeha tatopalabhyate nanto na chade na cha sampratishta ashvathamenam savirudhamulam asanga shastrena drinena chitva tata padam tat parimagitavyam yasmin gatana nivartanti bhuya tamev chatyam purusham prapadye yatha pravritti prashrita purani. Bhagwan says, the real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. So we created this tree of life, our own tree of life, so deep-rooted at different places. We don't even know now how many lives we have taken, how many lives, how many desires, millions of uncountable desires we have like branched out and stuck completely in this tree now. How do I cut it, Bhagwan? Bhagwan says, weapon of detachment and determination. Cut it off with determination and weapon of detachment. Therefore, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and there surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial. Bhagwan is now given the answer. You got it? You're stuck, accepted, you want to come back, start detaching yourself, done. No more attachment. Be very determined. And then reach to that abode. After reaching there, you will know from where it has begun, from where it has increased, gone. After you reach there, you will cut this tree. Nirmāna moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama dvandair vimukta sukha dukha sangai gachanti mūಢā padamavyayam tat. Bhagwan gives certain more qualities. And what are those qualities? Bhagwan says, those who are free from false prestige, false ego, illusion, and false association. Nirmāna moha jita sanga dosha. Nirman means you are not expecting any prestige. This prestige, that expectation of prestige is our false ego. Everybody has to say, oh, we are good. This is a natural thing in people. Everyone should say, I am good. It's not possible in the world that everybody is going to say you are good. But if somebody says something, we get so hurt. Why? That getting hurt because somebody said something to you. They are judging you from the lenses that they have worn. They are seeing you yellow, but you are not yellow. They are seeing you red, but you are not red. You are clear. If they wear clear glasses, they will see you as clear. But we, how are we? We get hurt at a little thing. That hurt, being hurt, is our false ego. We try to be perfect, to please everybody. That is false ego. However we are, let me tell you, we are perfect. Always, because we are souls. Never forget that. The world may do whatever they want to speak, taunt, give you honor, tell anything, doesn't matter. Judge you, doesn't matter. Tell you perfect or imperfect, doesn't matter. You are perfect because your soul, you belong to Bhagwan. That's it. In your mind, you always should be like that. I belong to Bhagwan. Bhagwan is perfect, so I am perfect. That is real ego. False ego is, if you have believed in that, right? I am Bhagwan's, I am perfect. Now people are talking bad about you, insulting you, spreading rumors about you. And then how do you react internally? Externally, you will react. You will give them a reply, whatever is supposed to give. You should. But internally, are you really that hurt? Have you forgotten your real self? No, you are Bhagwan's, you are perfect. You come back again with the same strength. I'm perfect. I'm Bhagwan's. Every time you have to develop this. So, nirmana moha ajita dosha means those who are free from this false prestige, from the illusion and false association, those who have conquered this. Adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha. Those who are situated in the self, as I told you. You will fight in the world, that is external fight. Internally, always be with God, situated in yourself eternally. This is called Adhyatma Nitya. You are in your Atma. Adhyatma. You are spiritual. You realize your real spiritual existence. Adhyatma Nitya. Vinivritta Kamaha. You have given up all the desires now. Dvandair Vimukta Sukudukha Sangair. That person is free from dualities. As I told you, what are the dualities? These are the dualities. Honor, dishonor, gain, loss. These are dualities. The one who is free from all these dualities, Sukha Dukkha Sangair, all this Sukha and Dukkha, happiness and distress. The one who is freed from dualities of happiness and distress, and who is unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. Gacchantya muda padam avyayam. Those who have surrendered themselves to Bhagwan will reach that eternal abode. So how you have to cut? First, you have to start with detachment from the world. Then you have to remove your false ego. You have to remove your false prestige. You have to remove all those associations which make you forget Bhagwan. Okay? And then you are situated in the self. Know your spiritual identity. You are the supreme eternal soul. You are Satchid Anand. No matter how the world drags you down and makes you feel insignificant, you rise up again saying, I am Satchid Anand. I am full of bliss. I am pure consciousness. I am Bhagwan. Bhagwan is eternal truth. I am eternal truth. I exist. I am Bhagwan's. Always come up with this. Never forget your spiritual identity. Adhyatma Nitya means this. Never forgetting your spiritual identity. You are a spiritual being. You are Bhagwan's part and parcel. So those who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who unbewildered know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, they attain to that eternal kingdom. And how is Bhagwan's eternal kingdom? Our real home. When we read the shloka, it seems like third person. Our home, our real home, our Bhagwan's home. How is that home? Where we have to go. Na tadbhasate suryo, na shashanko, na pavakaha, yad gatva na nivartante, tad dhamam paramam mama. That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or the moon, nor by the fire of electricity. Those who reach this abode will never come back to this material world. This spiritual world of Bhagwan is known as Goloka Vrindavan, and that is described here. The spiritual sky, in the spiritual sky, there is no need of the sun or the moon or the electricity or the fire. It is illumined by Bhagwan's own energy. It is self-luminous. All the other planets derive light from this Bhagwan's luminosity, from this Goloka Vrindavan. So this, the shining effulgence of those planets, which are called as Vaikuntha, constitutes the shining sky known as the Brahma Jyoti. Actually, the effulgence is emanating from the planet of Krishna, Goloka Vrindavan. Part of that shining effulgence is covered by the Mahatattva, the material world. Other than this, the major portion of that shining sky is full of spiritual planets, which are called Vaikunthas, chief of which is Goloka Vrindavan. As long as the living entity is in this dark material world, he is conditioned, he's in conditioned life. But as soon as he reaches the spiritual sky, by cutting through the false perverted tree of this material world, he becomes liberated. Then there is no chance of his coming back here. In his conditional life, the living entity considers himself to be the lord of this material world, but in his liberated state, he enters into the spiritual kingdom and becomes an associate of the Supreme Lord. Understand? Here we are lording, we think everything is under our control. But when we become liberated, here we go back to our home, sweet home, Goloka Vrindavan. There we are in the liberated state and we are the associate of Bhagwan. We are serving him there. There we enjoy a life of eternal bliss, eternal life full of knowledge. One should be captivated by this information. Understood? Your real home, your real address, permanent address. He should desire to transfer himself to that eternal world and extricate himself from this false reflection of reality. For one who is too much attached to this material world, it is very difficult to cut that attachment. But if he takes to Krishna consciousness, there is a chance of gradually becoming detached. So what we do? Detachment is very difficult. But attachment to Bhagwan is very easy. So we must work on attachment to Bhagwan. How does attachment come? How are you attached to the people of the world? How are you attached to money making? Because you have heard so much about money making right from childhood. Money making is the most essential thing. If you don't have money, you will suffer. Make money, study to make money. So you heard so much stories about making money. The importance of making money, importance of saving, importance of all about money. So you got attached to money. You are slogging day in and day out. You detach from your family also. Hours you leave your family. A baby is born and the mother leaves the baby and goes to work. Why? That money is important. More than the baby. Baby will be there, no problem. So we practice detachment when we know the importance of a thing and we get attached to that importance. Similarly, if we know the importance of Krishna, if we get attached to Krishna, this world will become our baby. We'll leave it. We will be detached because now we know Krishna is the most important thing. So what we practice attachment to Krishna. How are we going to practice attachment to Krishna? The same way we kept listening about the importance of money, we got attached to money. Similarly, we keep listening about Krishna, we'll become attached to Krishna. Love will make you do things. A girl, she's brought up in a family, in India especially. The other cultures also I have seen, but in India especially, from childhood, the girl is only taught one thing: you're going to get married, you're going to get married. Everything is taught to her to get married. That is the only goal. Study to get married, get a good degree to get a good husband, learn the arts to get a good husband. That good husband is just in whatever it is, okay? If they get, wonderful. If they don't, sometimes the illusion is broken. No worries, it's all good. Get a good husband. The girls are taught, oh, if you behave like this, what will your in-laws say? Those in-laws are also illusion. And how perfect are the in-laws? Who knows? But no, the girl has to be perfect because she has to pass the test of the in-laws. She has to be. So throughout, this girl is always taught, okay, you have to get married, you have to get married, you have to get married. Your family is that family. We are your temporary family. That family, the other family will be your permanent family. The girl grows up thinking this only, oh, this family, one day I have to leave. No matter how much attachment with the family is there, with the mother, father, siblings, everybody, she loves everyone. But she has been trained that one day you will be leaving this family and that other family, the unknown family you will be adopting, and that is your family. You have to prove yourself for that family. We are preparing you for that family. Okay. So somewhere this girl is prepared, and then the day of marriage happens. Wow. How the girl makes a shift. She cries for the parents here. But then she makes the shift. She goes. And then the other family is her family. Wow. How does that happen? How did that happen? Because all these years, the girl was being trained that this home is not your home. The other home is your home. Similarly, we live in the spiritual world like this girl only. This material world is not your home. The spiritual world is your home. You have to go there. You don't have to do anything to please us here. Prepare yourself to enter into that world. All the qualities that is required to get into Goloka Vrindavan, develop all those qualities. Just like the girl is being trained. Get all those things that will qualify you to get married, to get a suitable husband. Similarly, your suitable husband is Bhagwan. You're living in this material world. You have to live this world one day. And then you have to go there. So develop your attachment to that world. If you prepare like this, that detachment will happen immediately, just like the girl. Till now, she was so attached to her family. You talk to the girl after marriage. Everything. Her problem is only her family. That's how we live in the world. Got it? All right. So falling in love with Bhagwan, attaching ourselves with Bhagwan. How do we achieve that? By hearing stories of Bhagwan. All right. So for one who is too much attached to this material world, it is very difficult to cut that attachment. But if he takes to Krishna consciousness, there is a chance of gradually become detached. One has to associate himself with devotees, those who are in Krishna consciousness. One should search out a society dedicated for development of your bhakti and learn how to discharge devotional service. In this way, he can cut off his attachment to the material world. One cannot become detached from the attraction of material world simply by dressing himself in saffron clothes. He must become attached to the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, one should take it very seriously, that devotional service described in chapter 12. And this is the only way to get out of this false representation of the real tree. In chapter 14, the contamination of all kind of processes by material nature is described. Only devotional service is described as purely transcendental. The words Paramam Mama is very important here. Actually, every nook and corner is the property of the Supreme Lord, but the spiritual world is Paramam, full of the 6 opulences. The Katha also confirms that in the spiritual world, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, or stars. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. For the whole spiritual sky is illuminated by the internal potency of the Supreme Lord. That supreme abode can be achieved only by surrender, no other means. Then Bhagwan ends up, I'll just read the 7th sloka and then we'll end it up. It's a very beautiful chapter. Bhagwan says, Mamaevansho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha manashasthani indriyani prakritasthani karshati. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the 6 senses, which include the mind. So we are belonging to that world, we understood. We have come to this world, we know it. Bhagwan says, my favorite statement, which I repeat many times. Bhagwan says, Mama Evansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Bhagwan says, all of you are my Vansha, my progeny. He has told it in the beginning somewhere. I am the seed-giving father. Bhagwan says, you all are my part and parcel. But you have become conditioned. How? Because of your 5 senses and your mind. So, Bhagwan says, all the living entities are my eternal fragmental parts, but they are conditioned because of the 6 senses and the mind, and that is why they are struggling very hard. Shariram yad avapnoti yad chapi Kramat Ishwaraha Grihatvaitani Samyati Vayurgandhan Ivashayat. The living entity in this world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another. As air carries aroma, thus he takes one body, one kind of body, quits, takes another body, and this way the cycle of life keeps continuing. What happens next? We learned how to come out of this body, and Bhagwan is going to talk more about his opulences. He's going to talk about the importance of Veda and what is to be known by Veda. He's going to talk about two kinds of living entities, fallible and the infallible, and some more good things he's going to talk that we will hear tomorrow. We'll end the class now. All of you have a Krishnamay day and a Krishnamay night. Jai Shri Krishna. So no comments today, so we'll end it up here. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you, Ma. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.